Welcome to Inside the Firm, a podcast dedicated to small business owners and hosted by entrepreneurs, Alex Gore and Lance Cayko. Each week, they take you on their journey of how to start, run, and grow a business by bringing you inside their architecture and real estate development firm. Get a behind-the-scenes tour of how these business leaders manage their clients and foster company culture while creating new and innovative projects. And now your hosts, Alex Gore and Lance Cayko.
Al Gore.
That's me.
Episode 100. Can you believe it?
Whoa.
And you are sick.
Woo, I'm so excited.
Right before. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen.
What I do?
Ladies and gentlemen,
podcast.
This guy is in trouble with his sickness. He was up till 3 a.m. in Walmart apparently, or something like that.
A couple nights ago, just walking around trying to find.
What were we trying to find? Like something to make you feel better?
Dayquil, NyQuil. You know,
sad stuff.
Yeah.
Sad stuff. It's been going through the firm. And Lance has not been sick, knock on wood, on the wood table, because he's been out at the job site doing job site stuff.
That's where you need to be.
That's right. That's where I need to be. I need to live there. I have been living there. It's been good. But
it's been good because we sold one of the units.
We did. Well,
literally.
We have one under contract, right? So,
under contract.
We should just to be specific. And there's two buildings, as people know if they've been listening to the podcast. The smaller building has the smaller units, and we have one under contract, plus the commercial unit technically under contract because we're going to buy it.
Well, should we do that soon? Like, get all the paperwork, get everything.
Yeah.
It'd be nice.
Yeah, we should. We figure out what...
Let's figure out, we have a list of things to do. Let's get all that stuff in order first.
Yeah.
Let's focus, prioritize.
I don't even know who I'm talking to with this voice. Sorry.
Prioritize.
I'm sorry to make you laugh. And then we have a potential second buyer on the hook.
Yep.
Maybe by Monday we might have the West building sold out, which is incredible because we haven't even went vertical yet. Nope. Meaning sticks have not been put up yet. Yeah. I literally just sent Al a picture of the giant lumber package. It's massive, right? That's a lot of lumber.
Yeah. So sticks are just lying down. They're not even doing anything.
But I got a quick story.
Well, can I interrupt and just talk about our partner?
I wouldn't know now I know who I'm talking to.
It's Al Gore. Bim Smith, my friend.
Oh, Bim Smith.
Speaking of sticks, if you're making a wall assembly, I would go to bimsmith.com. Go to their forge where you can basically start off from the framing wall, right? Are you going to use 2x6s, 2x8s? Are you going to use metal studs? And you can build out by there, from there to all of your siding. You can do pre-made ones, and then you can save them to your project. It's all free. Go there, sign up, and check it out. So bimsmith.com.
Check them out.
Check them out.
I got a question for you, Al.
I have an answer.
Let's say you get a text message like this, okay? Let's say you own a architecture firm.
Hypothetically.
and you get a text message like this from an unknown number, and they say something like, "Hello, how are you doing today?"
Scam.
Hold on. This is Richard Odom. Maybe Lamar Odom's brother.
Yep.
I would like to know if you can fulfill a job on architectural service. Let me know if you can do this. Thanks. You get, and then you get another text message, and it says, "Hello." Actually, then you get a phone call. You can't understand this person, and then you say, "Hey, I'm interested in the project. Text me your address." And then they actually do it, okay? And they say, "Hello, here's the lot address," and then in quotation, in parentheses, TBD, St. Vrain, Longmont, Colorado 8050. I would like to have a design for 6 bedrooms, 2-story. Story is spelled STOREY. All suite. Suite is spelled SUIT, with 2 living rooms, foyer, master. There's a comma missing between foyer and master.
Well,
suite, playroom. Let me finish. Kitchen, kitchenette. I don't even know what a kitchen plus kitchenette is. Laundry room and 3 cars garage, and will like access the living room from the garage. Also have a link with the master bedroom. If there's anything that can suit my taste, which I am yet to include, please advise. Hope you accept credit card as mode of payment for the drawing plan. and designs, and I will appreciate if you can get back to me with the following details. Would you respond to them?
Well, I would until the last sentence, because it could be English as a second language.
Yeah. Honestly, we have there's actually a Russian couple, I don't even think I've told you about this, who wants us to design their house. They're real too, obviously, you know what I mean?
So did you find out that this was a scam? I hope you accept credit card.
Well,
someone else on our Facebook group, on our Inside the Firm, posted an email that they got. And I go, anytime someone says, do you accept money? You know, like credit card, check, wire transfer, like, you just can stop the conversation.
You know what people accuse me and you of several? Like I get this once or at least once a week now. At this point, they go, how are you doing all these things? How are you teaching? How are you raising a family? Doing the podcast, building, designing, all these things. How do you have time? And then I go and I do stuff like this, and apparently I have time to troll a scammer. So you would have just ignored him, Al, but I responded with, thanks, but can you text me the entire address? TBD makes no sense. You're missing a digit for the zip code. Then he responds, hey, sorry, it was mistakes. I respond, no problem. Retext it with no mistakes, please. I am very interested. Yeah. So he responds, this is hilarious. It's TBD. St. Vrain, Longmont, 80501. That's how it was provided by the owner I bought it from. Then I go, TBD? ? That means to be determined usually. Please check with the owner again. Maybe on your deed of trust. The TBD should actually be a number. This is like 6 a.m. Example, 17533 St. Vrain Road, 80501. And then he responds back the next day. This is like all week. Just so you know, this is all week. Several times. Morning, how are you doing today? Just heard from my surveyor agent this morning that I still need to settle some fee. You'll like the end of this, I promise, Al. That's why the address provided is like that. It's 501. So guess what I did, Al? I went on the Boulder County's assessor's website. Looked up the address. I go, good morning, doing well. I looked up the property using 501 St. Vrain Road, Longmont, Colorado, 80501, but it came up as invalid. Sent him a screenshot. Who is your realtor and who sold you the property? What is their number so I can call them to get the correct address? There's a point to this, by the way. Yeah. Oh, and then he goes, okay, he or she, who knows. Okay, I will get back to you soon. I said, excellent. And he says, he said it was a mistake that another property he sent to me. Do you understand? And I said, sure. What is your surveyor's number? Maybe I can call him directly. Obviously, he doesn't give me the surveyor's number. But what he does do, and this is what's important, is gives me a real address with an empty lot. Like this, then, yeah. So I looked it up, and it's a real empty lot down south.
So maybe this isn't a scam.
Yeah, 501 Ridge Avenue, Longmont, Colorado, 80501. I looked it up. It's a empty lot.
Yeah. It
was recently sold. Very, very realistic.
Yeah, I don't know where you're going with this story.
All this, you'll see. It's funny. Yeah. And then I go, nice property. Your name is Richard Odom. Yes. He goes, yes. What about you? So then he asked my name, and I didn't do that. And then I said, strange. That's not the name that comes up. Long story short, Al. Okay, cutting to the chase. And he goes, I gave him an estimate, and he goes, great. So I told him $25,000. I will need a $5,000 deposit in Bitcoin. So then I looked up this Bitcoin wallet address for a nonprofit that I help out with, and he would never get to send me the Bitcoin. But if you get a message like that, either have fun with it or just dismiss it. But if you're having fun, please do what I did.
So you're convinced this is a scam? Because I'm convinced it's not.
No, this is a scam. Oh, here, I'll tell you why it's a scam. This is why it's a scam. Is because then yesterday I get another text message from another number that says, hi, this is James. I'll like to confirm if you do architecture service like drawings, plan, and design if you accept credit card as payment. So then I took a screenshot of the original one, and I go, strange that I would also get the same message from you as I did from this person.
Yeah.
Nobody's sending text messages
to get architecture. And then, like you said, Al, in the Inside the Firm group, the same exact kind of style of message got emailed. Yeah. So email and text. They're just...
Yep, and the real deal is, I was on the job site yesterday, got a phone call from a potential client, and they said, yeah, we own property in Boulder County. We want to tear down this house, build a new one. Would like to come into the office. No hesitation. They want to meet you face-to-face, come into the office.
Yeah, I agree.
But I had a ball trolling about the Bitcoin.
Good.
Really hoping I could get the Bitcoin sent to me. Because that's like a no-brainer. Like, if I could actually get Bitcoin, I don't know. I mean, you can't track them because they're all anonymous transactions, right? That's the whole idea behind them. They're secure. So if somebody, I will send you a free Inside the Firm T-shirt if you can get somebody to send you Bitcoin like that. Do it.
Cool.
Sorry. Good. All right, then I got something else for you. Okay, I want to dissect this. So I got this email. I'm not going to name who it's from, but it seems like there's a sponsored ad that's been coming up on my Facebook feed that is from an architect, and they claim that they have this method. But I want to dissect this with you, Al, because what was hilarious is I got this email, but then I also got this article that we were going to talk about that I called you about because I thought you put it on there, but apparently it was me. So it all came full circle. But I want to dissect this for you. Like, if you got this kind of advice and you're a business owner, and you know our gross revenue continues to go up because we think we're building a fundamentally sound business, right?
Right.
All right. So this is not a scam. This is like a real deal. Okay, Lance, what I'm about to share with you is not easy for me to share. In the past few years, I've made big mistakes. However, this one that I have is some level of shame. It's probably cost me the most amount of money and definitely the most amount of sleep.
Is this an email where like, this isn't a private email, like, this is their marketing story?
This is their marketing story. So that's why I want to dissect this to see if there's some, like, what would we tell somebody? Or is our approach maybe better than this person so that they can avoid the next line that I'm about to read you? It probably cost me the most amount of money and definitely the most amount of sleep. See, the first time I tried to scale my business, I failed. I failed hard and slipped into a $150,000 debt.
Ooh.
Don't worry, I've bounced back. So what the heck happened? Well, I'll tell you. But just know I'm not proud of it, and it's one of the things I've messed up the most. I can tell you that it was not the market or the industry or the internet. Nope, Lance. It was all me. Your talent
some extreme ownership. I like it.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Lance, have you ever lived, as he's wearing the shirt, Discipline Equals Freedom, this says Al. Lance, have you ever heard or lived this before? Well, the year I founded blah, blah, blah media, we did $400,000 worth of revenue. To be honest, I felt invisible. I thought I had made it. I think he meant invincible. And also thought that every year moving forward was going to double or triple that. My character changed and I started operating from the wrong mindset. I started working with the wrong clients for the wrong reasons. My goal was to grow to multiple seven figures. That's literally one of our goals, right? What my big ego was blinding me from was the fact that I didn't even have a real business. I didn't have predictability. I didn't have the consistent lead flow. I didn't have a sales process. I didn't have any of the 6 pillars of a sustainable business. I had a hustle, not a business. Amongst all the work, and after all exhausting our small startup team, I started to hire more people. Lance, well, guess what happened next? Well, number one, I overshot up to the roof. Shot up to the roof. Number 2, I focused all on delivery. 3, and we kind of did this recently, focused just on the delivery, right? Getting down to that goal line. Number 3, marketing stopped. 4, sales stopped. 5, ego didn't stop. 6, I burnt the smart thing to do was to cool things down and focus on my pillars, but my ego couldn't face the fact that I didn't have a real business. Our success came from talent and trouble. At this point, I was disconnected from my wife. I was disconnected from my baby son. I was disconnected from my friends. I was disconnected from my health. I was $150,000 in debt. So this is kind of the gist of what he's doing. So the lessons that he learned was, number 1, a mentor. He had help. He had a mentor that was 2 steps ahead of him. 2, a solid team that went all in with me. And 3, a solid partner that supported me through it. So what do we do different? What should other people do fundamentally different than like what a guy like this did?
Well, it's funny is that it's not just him. So Jim Collins I just got his little monograph, which is like a short little book called The Flywheel. It's actually really good. You could read it in 2 hours. But Jim Collins, you know him. He has multiple books, Good to Great, all this other stuff.
Yep.
And he just touched briefly. He has why big companies fall, right? And they normally fall after they're reaching like records success. And one of it is that they get so confident that they put blinders on themselves. And the whole ego thing. Like,
did they say anything like that they are unconsciously doing that? Sort of like, or is it both?
I think it is somewhat unconscious. Just think about it. Success after success fills your ego, so then it gets bigger, then more success, until it becomes, it explodes, right? That's what he was getting at. There's many factors, but that was one point that was very consistent. Like Circuit City, hey, we're great at this, we'll do this, blah, blah, blah. This is where it's going to go. Did you know Circuit City made CarMax? And CarMax is doing great?
No.
So Circuit City got beat by Best Buy and Amazon.
CarMax?
Yeah, CarMax. So CarMax is basically
online. You can sell and stuff. Yeah. Okay.
Well, but basically, what CarMax, there's used car salesmen all over the place. You've seen all of them every time.
Literally on Main Street. Yeah.
So they systematized and made it organized and made it professional. Mm-hmm. So like they'll probably continue to grow, and it'll be a professional place to go rather than just like buying off of Jimmy. But anyways, their ego got ahead of them. They literally sold that productive part of their company and kept with their failing part and did not, change that part where there was a clear transition over that they could have done. They could, So what I'm getting at here is that, as we're growing, and I think you've seen some of this, at least from my side, and you've taken it up too, is like, how do we grow and create a system, right? Our task list, knowing when things are due, knowing when things are going to come up. For me, like making sure I review things like that, but without becoming too bureaucratic, because one thing I'm thinking about implementing and bringing up to the guys, when you go to the doctor's office, there's an intake form. When you sign up for insurance, there's an intake form. After clients sign the contract, I think it'd be very easy because normally it's me or you, same thing, with another guy on the project. They could reach out and say, hey, I have this intake form. I got most of the stuff figured out, but I just need to, double check on these things,
Is this the address we're going to use? Is this the phone number we're going to use? Are you the point of contact?
But not only that, but like it says in the contract, that you guys are getting a surveyor. Like, are you guys on that? It says that or that we should have a soils report.
I think it's brilliant because that's one of the things I've been trying to get across is like, guys, look at the contract. You see the very first little bullet point is do the research on what we need to do for submittal. What items do we have to do? Identify them right away. Again, that's why the surveyor, the soils engineer, MEP, whatever.
Yeah. So what I kind of get from this is that this guy went on his own momentum of success and then realized that he got so far and there was nothing under him.
Substance.
Besides him just doing all this hustle.
Yeah, no substance. Just all hustle, no process.
Yeah. So I don't know what kind of question you're asking, but is that the lesson?
That's literally it. That's literally it. And that's actually, again, I'm not going to name who this guy is, but I was so struck by this email, and it just made me kind of self-reflect on where we're at, and because I get scared about it, us. As we keep doing like the things you just said that Jim Collins brings up is these people, you're riding sort of this hockey stick level raise of revenue generation projects and all that other stuff. And are we, how do we not think that we're invincible like this guy kind of described that he is? So one of his taglines is literally leveraging process instead of hustle to scale sustainability instead of chasing down the leads. So concentrating on that process and making sure that we have substance at the end of the day and we don't lose, any of that stuff.
Yeah. I think it's great, and I think it's necessary. I even think I've written down some notes because we have like an F9. I think we call it like our leadership folder or something like that. But hiring process, just for me and you to formalize that, meaning, okay, we have the interview, we have the resume, but like literally check, like, did you check the GPA? Did you check like give them assignment? Here was
even a trial period. Did I tell you about one of our favorite MEP engineers? He goes, we have them come into the office. We pay them for one day. They come in and they perform some simple tasks, and that's part of it before we even pull the trigger. That's just how it works. You pay them for that one day. I think we need to do that.
I should send you a link. So we are going to get interviewed on another podcast. I don't even know if I told you this. Probably not.
Alex and I barely talk.
This is what this podcast is about. So someone wants to interview us, and I listen to one or two. I'm going to send you the link to the podcast and then like the time to listen to. I'll put it in the show notes for everyone to hear, right? Because this guy has a 7-level hiring process.
Wow.
Right? And it's great. And some of it is the stuff that you normally do. Do an interview, check the resume, stuff like that. But he says, okay, give them a task. I'm actually morphing this into something that we could do.
Yeah.
Right? Because he sells like insurance or something, right?
Yeah.
Give them a task and then redline that task and then have them to see if they can pick up, to see if they can change. I'm like, oh, that's...
What the...
why are we not doing that?
Thank you. That's what was the next stupid sentence out of my stupid mouth was, why are we not doing that? Why haven't we done that?
Yeah. And also,
why? I'll tell you why, everybody who's listening, plus Al.
Yeah.
Because we just started this from scratch and we're just doing it on the fly still.
Yeah.
Nobody, that's the thing. Again, that is the thing. School, I don't care. Like, I really don't, like, do you believe that the business schools teach you? Like, here's how you hire somebody. Here's the proper way to hire somebody. There's so much, like, do they understand Econ 101? Yeah, generally. I guess you get all that stuff, financing and interest, but like, these fundamental things that you don't learn in school, I think, is where the bread and the butter from the business comes from.
And they might, but here's the hard thing. So I was talking to one of our students, and they, what's so funny, I go, keep this book, whatever book, they were at my desk. I go, keep that book, because in 5 years from now, that's going to be very relevant. You don't even know what's relevant about that yet, right? So everyone's heard, everyone knows. People are key. Like the number one, there's so many business books about the first thing you need to do is get great people, And what we've learned is, okay, let's make a great training process. That's one thing that like I think we do very well and that we want to impart to other firms is like, man, have it laid out, have them train, have them review stuff, have example sets, have a template, have a tutorial, all this other stuff. But if great people is that important, do you have a great hiring process? Us right now? No, we have some cool ideas that are mismatched and kind of get implemented here and there, but we don't have a great process that's put out there.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. We could be way better.
Yeah,
way better.
Yeah. So, I had one cool leadership thing that happened at work this week actually. So, Jock always says extreme ownership. You take ownership for something. So let's say this wasn't actually me. This was one of the guys working with one of the other guys at the firm. So I actually didn't even come up with this. But, one guy was having a problem getting tasks done. And they realized that if they broke the tasks into smaller chunks, they'd do amazing. They'd, instead of giving them a list of 25 things, give a list of 4 things or 6 things, and then they'd knock it out. And I go, wow, like, what if, who knows who that could apply to? Like, what if, you got rid of someone just because of that, or like, they fit perfectly if you just change the way that you gave them stuff. And I guess it was cool just because that makes sense, because you could have a list of 20 things and just give them 6 at a time, right? But like, what else? Is there something that we're not even thinking about? How people learn or want to do tasks that we're not even doing. So I thought that was cool insight.
That is cool insight, Mr. Gore. Yeah. This is a short one. What do we got next?
We have our friend Nick Reeds.
Nick Reeds, who's building like crazy right now. By the way, if you're not following him, you should follow him on Instagram and you should follow him on LinkedIn. Nicholas Renard with Dig Architecture. He does really cool stuff, and he's inspiring to watch.
Hello, best friends. I hope you all had a great week this week. A pattern. Why is it people don't dance in the streets today? All over the earth, people once danced in the streets. In theater, song, and natural speech. Dancing in the street is an image of supreme joy. Many cultures still have some version of this activity. But in those parts of the world that have become modern and technically sophisticated, this experience has died. Communities are fragmented. People are uncomfortable in the streets, afraid of one another. Not many people play the right kind of music. People are embarrassed. Certainly, there is no way in which change in the environment, as simple as the one which we propose, can remedy these circumstances. But we detect a change in mood. The embarrassment and the alienation are recent developments, blocking a more basic need. And as we get in touch with these needs, things start to happen. It is in this atmosphere that we propose a pattern, where the feeling of importance of the activity reemerging, then the right setting can actualize it and give it roots. The essentials are straightforward. A platform for musicians, hard surfaces for dancing, places to sit and lean for people who want to rest, provisions for some drink and refreshment. The whole thing where people congregate. Dancing in the street. A Pattern Language by Christopher Alexander. Friends, take a moment with me this weekend. Go a little crazy and dance in the street. Toodles!
Only if you recover, Al, are you going to be dancing in the street.
I'm sick.
Hopefully a Walmart in the aisles.
So I get a rant. I don't know if any of that is true at all. Almost all that, who dances in the street? Are you talking about like old-timey movies where it was, like dancing in the, literally, it's a musical? Are you talking about, Europe because they have small spaces?
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say Europe.
Multiple times, and I didn't see any dancing in the street.
I
Nowhere
did.
I saw dancing in the street?
Nope.
New York. All the time you got people dancing in the street for money, giving you a show. You have these flash mobs. So people are dancing in the street. I don't buy that whole thing, Nick. I'm sick. So I get to say what I think. That was all nonsense.
Yeah.
Even I love Christopher Alexander, but it was like
You got to read that. You have to read that book though. There's Christopher Alex. I know you have. I'm talking in general. If you're going to take the test, the ARE test, there's Christopher Alexander questions on there.
But I feel like it's, Christopher Alexander I really like. But so I'm not, don't get that I'm knocking on him. But it's like just some cranky guy. Like, I don't see any dancing in the street when I look outside, so I'm going to write this article that no one's dancing in the street. And then this is what we need to do. It's just nonsense. Nick, nonsense.
What?
Nonsense.
What's so weird about Al, this is my own observation, is like how much he criticizes
Criticism?
No, philosophy and like foo-foo philosophy, foo-foo art, foo-foo stuff.
Yeah.
Yet here he is going out there and creating foo-foo Amazon HQ2 in Denver. So he still has this amazing ability to go and try to do really big ideas, space stuff. I don't even know about the space stuff that he's doing at his own house. He's coming up with like designs for space and space travel and all these other things. But then when it comes to anybody else doing that stuff, it's like, I'm not doing it. Because like me and my wife, we have giant pieces of art in our house. We go to First Fridays in Denver. We love art, especially crazy weird art that means nothing. I don't know. But then at the same time, Lance is like this super practical A to B guy. I don't know.
What
the heck? What's wrong with us, Al?
I'll tell you. Here's the difference that pushes me off the edge. Because even in my stuff, it's a good selling point to contrast yourself by saying, this is how it is and this is how it should be. So you could sit there and complain about how it is, which is, hey, there's no dancing in the street. If we make these spaces, we could, right? The difference is I can't stand when it seems like, oh, you guys need to make stuff better. You need to do, like, when it's just telling other people what to do. My stuff that I do that you just said is me proposing a solution. If anyone's willing to pay me, I'll do it. So, like, just as, like, I just don't.
There's got to be. I think what you're getting at is there's got to be an end game to the whole thing, and it's just like there's plenty of A. Like what I would describe that as what Nick just read is there's plenty of A there, but where's the B? Like, are you going to get to the B, or is it just A for the sake of A?
Yeah, or but also in that case, because Christopher Alexander, he has a lot of sketches in his book, could say, okay, do plazas like this, so he could be doing some of that. But I still just don't buy his premises that there was a bunch of dancing in the street. Like, I just don't buy it. Was there? Am I misinformed that everyone in the 1800s that could barely get over syphilis were dancing in the street?
Oh my God!
were there flash mobs 100 years ago dancing in the street?
Probably not.
Yeah.
All right,
Nick. Right. I don't know. Text me. Maybe I'll be on the couch tonight, and you'll yell at me through the phone.
Hopefully. All right, with that, we're going to bring in the guys for ARE Jeopardy.
What is any horizontal load on a building, including the load from wind or earthquake? That would, so that's the definition. It's called either A, load, B, trace load, C, concentrated load, D, lateral load. So it's a horizontal. Okay, you guys got it? Look at that.
No. What was it? It was
trace load. Horizontal load on a building, including load from wind or earthquake. D. You are all correct. I don't have that. Lance, you want to give me that marker over there?
I'm going to give you this marker.
He did it. All right, everyone got that.
Congratulations, John.
Question 2. Two-way shear, which occurs in a flat slab or spread footing, is called A, punching shear, B, point load, C, trace load, D, double trouble.
Double trouble.
Yep. Two-way shear. It's double trouble, guys. Come on. Just write that.
What a silly boy.
Two-way shear, which occurs in a flat slab or spread footings, is called A, punching shear, B, point
Point
load.
Yeah, point load.
C, trace load, D, double trouble.
What do we got?
A, B, C, A. A is the answer.
A is the answer.
So we got two guys are one step ahead.
Yeah, so 2-2 something.
1,
2, 1,
2.
1, 2.
Yep. Punching shear.
Punching shear.
Did you know that, Lance?
Yep. All right, this comes directly from the Mark II job site. I know.
Hey, time out. Did you know Jackson thought that it was that Mark just named it and we went with it?
No, but I love it. That's hilarious.
It's like that. Yeah.
All right. Number 3. You are at a job site and notice that the number 5 structural rebar in a concrete footing is overlapped where a splice occurs. What is the exact length that the splice should be? A, 24 inches. B, 25 inches. C, 18 inches. D, 6 inches.
So you're talking about overlapping rebar, right?
Yep, overlapping rebar, splicing it. What's that?
what were the last two?
C, 18 inches. D, 6 inches. All right, we have A, C, A. None are correct. B is the correct answer.
25.
We need to update a common detail, just so you know.
Ooh. Gresh, can you put that on your to-do list? Because I feel like if we don't assign it now.
Okay. So it's 25 inches. All right. Now, let's see how this one goes, okay? Number 4, what is the general rule of thumb for rebar splicing on a structural application? A, 50 times the rebar diameter, 50 times the diameter of the bars. C, 40 times the diameter of the bars. C, 30 times the diameter of the bars. Or D, 40 times the diameter of the bars. I guarantee this is going to come up on one of y'all's
you said that wrong.
question.
You said that wrong. D, 20 times.
20 times. Sorry. I'll repeat the whole thing. Number 4. What is the general rule of thumb for rebar splicing on a structural application? A, 50 times the diameter of the bars. B, 40 times the diameter of the bars. C, 30 times the diameter of the bars. Or D, 20 times the diameter of the bars. We have A. All are incorrect. Now we have to have a runoff.
Next person to guess, right?
How about this? Exactly. I'll narrow it down. Should I? How do you want to do this now?
No.
Just first person to guess.
First person to guess.
Okay. First person to guess.
Is it?
Yep, it was. Yeah, it was. It was. So the guess was. Sorry for all you terrestrial listeners. This is no. Sorry. Don't worry. They're calling unfair. I love it. The correct answer is B, 40 times the diameter of the bars. I had to look this up myself because I was placing rebar as a general contractor for the slabs to see what the overlap needs to be. So that's where you get. So if you take number 5 structural rebar, which is 5/8, right, and you divided by 8 is 0.625, times that by 40, you get 25 inches. That is what the correct splicing should be. So don't ever forget that. Just 40x is the general rule of thumb. Like there might be more depending on, I don't know, maybe a specific from one of our engineers. But know that if you are the architect, that's the general rule. Okay, guys? Good one to learn. Nice. Al, you gonna take us off, or just you gonna cough us out of this?
That's what
podcast?
I should just cough and you just fade to black. Fade to black. If you want to learn Revit, go to revitrocketship.com. It's put together by Lance and myself. It's been taught to hundreds of students at CU. Everyone at the firm has went through the program, and they all give it a thumbs up. They're doing it. So it's guaranteed. So if you don't like it, you get your money back. But go check that out. Lance, over to you.
If you are a student or a general practitioner, either way, it doesn't matter, or just a family friend of Alex and I, or just a friend who listens to this podcast, share your favorite episode with somebody. Tell them to subscribe to the podcast. Leave us a 5-star review, and we will see you next time.